There is no doubt that this is the most publicity that the WNBA and quite frankly just women's basketball has ever gotten in its entire existence. Now this is personally my first year watching full WNBA games, and I could say that it is actually very entertaining. And it turns out you don't need flashy dunks or lobs or crazy ankle breakers. You just need a good storyline, and that is what this is all about. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. Who is actually better? Whether you have your own opinion on who is better already, I hope that this video can persuade you and who is a better individual basketball player based on an unbiased standpoint of an accumulation of 5 categories. You got stats, offense, defense, eye test, and impact. So let's get right into it. First we have stats, and I don't think that this one's very close considering that one of them is the all-time leading scorer in college basketball, and that includes men and women. But considering that Clark takes 8 out of the 11 categories available in the WNBA, I would argue that even though Angel is picking it up the last couple of games, it still isn't very close. I mean, Caitlin Clark is going to take this first category pretty easily. Now, moving on to the offense, I don't think that this one is also close considering the fact that Clark is not only a way better scorer than Angel, she is also a better passer and playmaker. Matter of fact, she's a rookie and only second in assists the whole entire WNBA. Now, not only is she leading all rookies in points by a pretty wide margin, she's also leading all the rookies in assists by a pretty wide margin. So Caitlin Clark is going to take this one as well. Now, moving on to defense, this is also a category I don't think is close, but in the favor of Angel. So she is not known for shot blocking like Brink, but in my opinion, she is probably the best on-ball defender in the draft. And she is averaging the most steals by a rookie and is top 6 in the WNBA for that. And when she is guarding you, you know she is really good at making you adjust your shot. Angel Reese takes this one pretty comfortably. Now we are moving on to the eye test, and I have watched a majority of both of their games this season, including both of their Big Ten matchups in the last 2 years, but this is what I saw. Angel Reese's game is purely physical. Now, as of right now, she can't make a shot outside the paint to save her life, but you can see in the offseason workout, she's in the gym with Chris Brickley, and her shot form just looks uncomfortable, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because she's a big, but her post game is a positive. Even when she misses her own shot, she is surely going to hustle and get the rebound back and put it up or get fouled. One big downside to her game, though, is the use of her offhand as well as the lack of footwork. I think that she could honestly average closer to 20 points a game, yes, even at this stage of this career, if she just takes the time that she practices on her outside shot that she doesn't even shoot in the game and puts that practice time into a Hakeem Olajuwon workout. Moving on to Caitlin Clark, it is kind of obvious what her strengths and weaknesses are. The main point of contention would obviously be her high rate of turnovers. She currently leads the WNBA in turnovers, and by the way it's going, I wouldn't be surprised if she stays healthy and has the most WNBA turnovers of all time. Even though her teammates drop like a third of them, you can see that she does take too many risks. I don't know how else to say it, but it honestly seems like she trusts her teammates too much. Now, in today's game versus the Seattle Storm, for example, 12 points in the first half, she only took 2 shots in the second half. And she was trying to set up her teammates so much that it ended up leading to more turnovers and shots. Although she does have the worst coach in the league by far, it does not excuse this. Caitlin Clark's weakness is her floater game, or lack of, I should say. Never in my 30 plus full Caitlin Clark games that I have seen her take a floater, and if she incorporates, then it's going to be wraps for the league. On the positive though, other than the turnovers and the no floater game for Caitlin Clark, there is absolutely no weaknesses. She can create her own shot, play off ball, get to the rim, finish at a high rate, all while being the main facilitator for the team. I like to think that defense is the weakest part of a game. Even though she is still a decent on-ball defender, she does get lost trying to overhelp when her man is cutting to the basket, and she does seem to give up sometimes on the chase down, unlike Angel, who stays within the play the whole time. But with Cameron Brink out for the remainder of the season, I think that Caitlin Clark is going to pass her in blocks and lead all rookies in blocks as a 6-foot guard, which is absolutely insane. Now, she gets compared to a female Stephen Curry, which I could see from the logo shots, but I honestly see more of a Damian Lillard. So this category is a little bit closer, but I can't help myself but to not go with Caitlin Clark. Now, moving on to impact, this isn't just going to be having an impact on the WNBA. I'm just going to be looking at this as a whole. So Angel Reese did win a championship in 2023, however, that does not matter in this scenario as basketball is a team sport. If college championships were the end-all be-all going into the rookie year, then Christian Laettner would have been the #1 pick since he went back-to-back in the 1993 draft over Shaquille O'Neal, since Shaq didn't win a single championship in college. You see how that sounds? Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball player of all time. He has 7 rings, 6 in the NBA, 1 in college, yet nobody says MJ has 7 rings. It's obvious once you get to the big league that nobody really values college championships like that, especially when Angel wasn't even a top 2 player on our team in that championship game. Caitlin Clark is not a system player like Angel Reese. She is a system. She's controlling the pace of the game as a rookie, and this is by far the worst or second worst franchise in the league for the past couple years, and if they keep this pace up, they're probably going to make the playoffs this year and potentially have a run. Now we're going to talk about the impact on the game itself. You could look at the numbers, the top 13 most watched WNBA games. Do you see the common denominator? These all have more viewers than the WNBA finals last year, which capped off at about 700K. Now let's look at the attendance. The Fever are the only team in WNBA history to sell out over 13K seats on average, and they're doing way more than that. This is because most WNBA arenas are just a bit smaller. The ticket sales are through the roof with the Fever, and they are having to switch arenas just to accommodate for the extra 7,000 people that want to watch female Steph Curry play. Let's take a look at the All-Star voting. So the All-Star voting has released, and even though this isn't the final one, Caitlin Clark is neck and neck with the WNBA, arguably the WNBA GOAT, A'ja Wilson. In case you were wondering how insane this is like Victor Wembanyama having the same amount of votes as LeBron this year. Also, notice the 200,000 votes at the top. Let's take a look at last year's 35K. There has been so much immediate impact from Caitlin Clark to the WNBA that I am glad that she's getting the credit that she deserves from the WNBA commissioner and previous owner. And for those who say that it is both Angel and Caitlin Clark bringing in the views, do you want to know what is the most viewed women's basketball game of all time? It was this year's South Carolina versus Iowa. It had more viewers than the past few NBA finals. Caitlin Clark takes this one pretty easy, and I would go as far as to say that she is the most impactful female hooper of all time. Well, there you have it, guys. A full look on who is actually better between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Now, again, this is not a hate Angel Reese video. I just really enjoy watching her play, but I think it's disrespectful to compare Clark and Angel Reese because Clark is clearly a tier above. And in case anyone is wondering, here are their stats in head-to-head games starting from when LSU won the championship. Caitlin Clark is just the all-around better player and has been since her freshman year. Not to mention, unless there is a serious injury or aliens coming in and abduct Caitlin, there will be no doubt in my mind that she would win unanimous Rookie of the Year. And she is still the heavy favorite till this day. Leave a like if you enjoyed. This is my first WNBA video, so comment down below if you would like to see more. Maybe I'll do a 1 WNBA video and 2 NBA video pattern, who knows. But hit that sub button if you're new. Peace out.